are you doing?
Oh my god.
I don't even know what's going on.
Hi Gemini, here's your weekly tarot reading. There will be the bonus of the charms from the pirate chest after this, so stay tuned. So for your theme for the week, we have the Page of Swords upright. For your challenges, 10 of Swords upright. I know that you don't hear the cards shuffled as loudly as they could be, but I'm using an AI mic and I don't want to overwhelm the reading with that sound. Just focus on my voice. Also, don't forget that I am a medium, so if someone from the other side comes in, I'll let you know. If you don't hear from your loved one, that doesn't mean that they don't love you, okay? Just means that I didn't hear from them. Maybe they don't want to talk to me. All right. For your finances, we have the Three of Wands upright. For romance, Seven of Cups upright. What are you doing? Don't make love a fantasy, okay? It's good for romance novels, but we have to deal in the real world. Dealing could be significant to someone. I mean card dealing, not... Although that could mean that somebody is drug dealing. I'm going to stop right there. For your solutions and guidance, we have the Strength upright. All right, so everything is in the upright. Let me just arrange them here. You're going to hear me shuffling while I'm talking because I close my eyes and I'm channeling while I shuffle. That allows me to engage part of my brain so that the other part can listen into them if they step in. Someone needs to watch for broken glass, breaking glass, a broken window. Be careful with breaking glass. All right. So right away, Gemini, for the theme and the Page of Swords upright, the Page of Swords feels like your card. It's youthful, it's curious, it's quick thinking, but also a little restless. Gemini tends to get restless, like flutter, here to there, this to that, job to job. So don't, remember to set a routine and stick with it, whatever it is. Spirit is showing me someone constantly watching, listening, absorbing, maybe even overthinking. If I feel the cards pop out, then I'm looking. Who are you watching and why? Maybe somebody's watching you. Ooh. I've got the Eight of Wands popping up with that theme and the High Priestess in reverse. So the Eight of Wands, especially the way that it's popping out, having to go quickly or be quicker at something that you're doing is going to be an issue for you for whatever reason. That High Priestess in the reverse is indicating to me that there is a negative person around you. Could be a female, doesn't have to be, but I am going to say female because, of course, in the deck we've got the Magician card that did not pop up. That card is the Nine of Pentacles. So this week's theme is about information, observation. Here goes another one, and asking the right questions. You might find yourself researching, reevaluating something you've done, or just picking up on subtle energies that others miss. Spirit says, don't rush to conclusions. Keep listening. You're gathering insight, and it's all about, it's adding up to something important. There's also a young energy in spirit, possibly a sibling or someone who passed too soon, showing me writing or journaling. They may have messages. I can't say that word. They may have messages coming through. Maybe through your thoughts or dreams. The card that popped out is the Seven of Swords. You definitely need to be careful. Watch gossip. Watch gossip around you. But I'm also going to say something here, and I mean no disrespect. Do not be the gossip. There's gossip. There's gossiping. That's gossip. For your challenges and the Ten of Swords upright, oof. You know, this one can sting. The Ten of Swords brings up betrayal, endings, or emotional overwhelm. But Spirit wants to be very clear here. This is something that has already happened. You're not being taken down this week. You're recovering. The challenge is to stop picking the wound. Something or someone let you down, maybe recently, maybe long ago, but it's time to lay it to rest. I'm also getting someone in spirit who dealt with depression or emotional pain. They're saying you don't have to carry that story anymore. Let the ending be an opening. What's that? Again, the Nine of Pentacles. You are thinking about a woman. Someone is thinking about a woman who's by herself. Someone is thinking about a woman who is by herself. Now, the Nine of Pentacles, and I happen to be holding the Cosmic Tarot in my hands. I'm actually not using the Hanson Roberts Tarot because something told me not to. That is a woman with shoulder-length black hair. She is by herself in the countryside, and she's got 9 pentacles. Someone is thinking about this woman. She's a happy woman in this day. Ooh. And I've also got the Prince of Pentacles in reverse. Prince of Pentacles in reverse. With the Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords in upright, Prince of Pentacles in reverse. You know, there's an ending to a situation that could have been contentious. Prince of Pentacles will usually speak of messages that have to do with money. Oh, finances. Princess of Pentacles. Okay, so I've got the pair here. What is that saying? Let me just check one more thing before I speak. Let everything in the past go. Let it rest. You know, the old situation gone, old relationship gone, old job gone. You wouldn't go back to the old relationship or the old job or to the old situationship, whatever this is, without expecting something to be different. Actually, it gets worse when you return. Both of those cards showing up that way are making me very uncomfortable. Someone is a gossip. Someone is an absolute gossip. Ha! Okay, Four of Swords in reverse. I haven't even moved on to the finances. And, you know, this is saying, you know, don't come out of one situation where you were rested to go back to another situation where you're going to need to go back again to need to be rested. Jesus. All right, so for your finances and the Three of Wands, now this is hopeful. The Three of Wands, since you've already taken some kind of action, maybe a job application, a creative project, or investment, and now you're in the watching phase. You know, it takes time at a new job, you know, for things to sort out, settle out. You know, I'm reminded of this, that once upon a time, we never left a job before the 2-year mark because it would mess everything up. It would mess up the reputation. It would, like, I'm thinking about a time where I had to stay within the same industry, which was banking at the time, because I was in the process of, you know, saving money to put a down payment on a house. And so because they're, the FDIC shut down. Banking is significant to someone here, obviously, but the FDIC shut down this bank, and then I got involved with the FDIC, and, kind of we worked together through these audits and shutdowns, and, then in banks being purchased by each other. The purchase of a business is important here. So financially, things are starting to move, even if the results aren't fully visible yet. Spirit says, don't stop now. So if you started something new, don't stop. If those of you have put in applications to new places recently, stay at the job that you're at and don't leave to the next job yet. There's a message here about looking beyond your usual path. Maybe considering opportunities at a distance or outside your comfort zone. Something is on its way in. It's giving me chills with that. Someone in spirit is very proud of how far you've come, even if you don't always see it yourself. Okay. Now I've got the High Priestess in the upright and the Wheel of Fortune hitting that Nine of Pentacles lady. Someone's connected to a good mystic who represents the Wheel of Fortune, who has seen her share of difficulties but seems to keep coming out on top. I really like the Yiddish on this card. So there got some people around you who are not safe, and then there's like somebody out there who is safe. And then as I say that, I get a cluster of them. What's going on with your reading, Gemini? I've got the Seven of Pentacles. I've got the King of Swords. I've got the Five of Wands and the Two of Cups in reverse. And we're still here on the topic of your finances. So someone here needs to be patient with the situation. I'm getting that 2-year job thing. Don't be jumping out of a job and into the next without waiting. You need to wait to see it through. If not, and this could be if you own a business, this could be your employees. You could see attrition through people who are flakes that get up and go, get up and leave, get up and go, get up and leave, move here, move there. That's not good. With the King of Swords, I could be talking to, there could be a faction of you that are the business owners. Falcons are significant, and the sign of Libra. I'm not going to take the others. We're going to look here at the Five of Wands. If you're the owner of a business, there could be some petty arguments. Maybe it's this immature person who is your employee who's like, you don't give me enough money, and you're, whining, or I don't want to do this anymore, and big baby. And then there's these petty arguments, and then we have that Two of Cups in reverse. That's such a pretty card in the upright, especially this art, but I don't like it in the reverse in this reading for the financial part of it, because it's kind of like a broken agreement again, a broken agreement again. So if I read this from the perspective of a person who is not the employer, but the employee, you are at risk of giving up too soon, or you already did on something. King of Swords means that you're being watched by someone, because in this art, this is not the art you're looking at on screen, because this is me doing, I don't know, all of these cards are flying out. King of Swords could be that you're being observed by someone. Someone could have a beard. One could have medium brown to blonde hair. They could be a Libra, don't have to be, but they are a powerful person. King of Swords doesn't always have to be the business owner, but usually is. It could be somebody who's a manager. Five of Wands could see you doing battle, if you're the employee, with somebody that you definitely should not. We all want to be professional, so be professional. I know it's different for everybody, but I'm not here to coach anyone. I'm here to read cards. That Two of Cups in reverse is, again, kind of falling out of love with something. But the way I'm looking at it here, Libra, if you're the business owner, you've got a wishy-washy employee. I don't know how far I would trust this person, or there's something else going on. Find somebody stable. If you are the employee, you could really hurt your finances here. By hurting your reputation. I get the Hanged Man in reverse. I get the Ace of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles, and the Moon in reverse. Something right when I'm talking about if you're the employee, Yeah, the money is there, but at the risk of your reputation. I get the Ace of Wands in reverse. I get a false start. What's with the false start, stop? Let's move to romance, because this financial thing with you, Gemini, is really bothering me. So what I mean to say, I really feel like I'm channeling the energy of an employer, and I am very frustrated by the situation with my employees. Maybe you're the employer cross-watching and you have Gemini employees. Then I get the Nine of Wands in reverse. I would not deal with this again. So with romance and the Seven of Cups upright, I'm going to say, I also get that somebody is in a relationship with someone, and oh my goodness, why does this, everything else has been so happy, and then this one is not very happy. And I just had Nutella on crackers, and I'm very happy, but I don't like this reading. Hang on, I'm going to put some lip balm on. Maybe somebody needs lip balm. I'm really thinking that this lip balm indicates that someone is a gossip, and maybe if you're the employer, you've got some gossiping ass employees, some me, like, I don't like it at all. That's nasty. That's naughty. What you do is hire a psychic like me, because I know what everybody's thinking and what they're thinking, why they're thinking it, what they're doing all around me. And then the psychic just plays dumb and watches everyone be a damn fool. Research is what I call it. So back to this issue that I don't like with the romance here with the Seven of Cups upright. So I'm going to preface this by saying that someone is in a relationship that is only for sex or money. Maybe they're just trying to have sex with you, but they don't really like you anyway. Or they're with you because they want money, or they need money, or a place to stay. That's not a relationship. That is a transaction. How different is that from, God forgive me, prostitution? I don't like it. So romance is a little cloudy right now. The Seven of Cups can mean lots of options or lots of confusion. You might be dealing with mixed signals, fantasies, or just struggling to decide what you really want. Spirit says clarity comes from honesty, not illusion. It's better to get out of a relationship that's an illusion and find a real relationship once you're healed than to just bounce from no. Let the heart breathe and rest and, wait it out. Work on yourself so that you're not codependent on a job or a relationship. You could just be struggling to decide what you really want. That's just what I feel. If you're single, be careful not to get caught up in the idea of someone without checking in on the reality. If you're in a relationship, there may be some emotional avoidance happening. Ooh. Yeah. Prince of Swords in reverse and the Chariot. The Chariot here in the Cosmic Tarot is kind of crazy. These cards are out of control. Someone is just out of control. The relationship is out of control, or it has no direction. I'm looking at this art for a second. Hang on. Mountains could be significant. Palm trees could be significant. The white horse is, focused, but the black horse is looking in the other direction. There are two people in a relationship who are just not really paired well. And with that Prince of Swords in reverse, that's an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Again, I'm not saying that all air signs are liars, but you got to really watch this, because in the reverse makes me even more uncomfortable and makes me really feel like somebody is stalking somebody. Somebody is stalking somebody and talking crap. All right. I've got a name here. Give me a moment. I can't hear the name. She's trying to tell me and I can't hear the name. I've got a senior lady. Let me see if I can get, I'm going to use a trigger here. Hang on. Hang on just a second. Pardon me just a moment. I don't want to keep you here all day. It takes forever to upload. Cow. Somebody needs to lose weight. Hay is for horses. Somebody needs to reduce the meats and go a little bit more vegisaur. Okay, this is where I'm going to go with this. F-A-Y. Somebody's name could be Faye. There's a little K that hung out at the end. Somebody could be frickin' fake. I've got 2 Ks. So either the name Faye or the initial K. I also have H-O-W-Q and C. I'm going to go with Faye. I really want to go with how. That this woman is like how. I've also got a Q. Did I say Q? Q. The initial Q is significant. All right. So where were we? Okay. I really can't get the name. I had to use a trigger, so we're going to go with Faye. The initial Q is significant to the reading. What is she trying to say? I think with the HOW, she's trying to say, how is this even possible? I think she's concerned about a descendant, a loved one of hers on this side. I'm trying to see if I can catch the message. She is really worried about this person. That's a female in spirit, really concerned about the mental health of a male. Let me use another trigger. I don't know why it's difficult. She's so soft-spoken. I've got Taurus, Capricorn, and Leo. Let's just set those aside. All right. She's really concerned about this person's mental health. She's like, how? How does this keep happening? Why is it happening? I don't understand what's wrong with him. She doesn't know what's wrong with this person. I almost want to say to this woman, sometimes people are flakes. You know, maybe this is about her husband that's still on this side, or her brother or her son that's on this side. Well, sometimes people are flakes and that's it. They don't grow beyond that. I'm not sure who that's for or why I'm saying that. You know, but again, with that 7 of Cups, don't get caught up in the idea of doing something or being with somebody without checking on the reality of the situation. If you're in a relationship and that emotional avoidance is happening, like too much dreaming, not enough talking, you need to ground yourself. Let your heart speak clearly and don't ignore what your intuition already knows. If you are in a relationship with somebody who's, especially if they're younger than you and if they're with you just because they want to have sex with you, or you're not, it's like, you know that they just need to use you for something. I'm talking to somebody who absolutely is avoiding the truth that someone is using them. This person works out of state. I don't know what state I'm in, but I'm not going to pull for more triggers or we won't get to your guidance. So for your solutions and guidance with the Strength and the Upright, I do have to say, if you want or need to leave someone, you know that. But don't stay with them and bitch about it. I understand that's difficult. I've been through every manifestation of a relationship, I think. Maybe not getting used for money. Definitely not for money. But it's I get the strength card. You've got to be strong about things, whether it's, like I said, a job, whether it's a relationship or a situationship. End it and be gone, or stay and don't complain. I'm not saying that to be mean, but I'm really getting that here. Kind of like with this old lady right here, Faye, maybe. Faye, how? How, Faye? I don't know. Sometimes, ooh, I get the devil in the reverse. I definitely have somebody who's avoiding dealing with the real issue, that the real issue is their choices. So if this is about you, then the real issue is you, that you need to make sense of the choices that you're making and why. So with that strength card, this is beautiful guidance. The strength card reminds you that gentle power is your greatest tool right now. Not force, not control, but inner steadiness. Spirit is showing me someone's soothing a wild animal in this card. So maybe even you need to soothe your own inner beast. The Fool. The Fool in the Cosmic Tarot is really crazy looking, and it always makes me feel like this person is crazy, has some issues. I don't mean to be mean about it, but it's absolutely ridiculous. You've got more resilience than you realize. So the solution to whatever you're facing lies in compassion, both for yourself and those who've hurt you. If it's a relationship that hurts you, and you've already left it, good for you. Keep going. Be strong. Don't look back. If you left the situationship or the job, or you are the one that owns the business and you finally got rid of that employee that's just driving you nuts, then don't deal with it again. The Nine of Wands popped up because you're just going to have the same thing. I'm talking to an employer here. That Nine of Wands is telling me you're just going to bring back an employee that is defensive, argumentative, unprofessional, rough. I don't know. Don't bring that one back. You don't have to fix everything. You just need to hold your center. There's that female presence in spirit again, possibly a mother figure, is trying to wrap someone, whoever receives that and understands this message, in light. She's saying, you've got this. You always have. If this is a mother, she knows that her child is fickle. I don't know if she's talking about a male, because she's so confused about her own child, if that's what it is. Like, what is going on? I don't know. Gemini, this week is full of insight and inner rewiring. Okay, you're watching. Ooh, I'm not going to look at those or we'll be here all night. Learning. We're going to look. I've got that Nine of Pentacles woman again. I don't know. Who's in love with the Nine of Pentacles woman? The Nine of Pentacles woman is a woman who's alone because she wants to be. I'm a Nine of Pentacles woman. Whenever I dilly-dally in a relation, I always say, you know what? Somehow I end up with some people with some pretty screwed up heads. Then my head gets screwed up, because then in the past I used to try to fix people. I don't want to fix people. Although if you hire me for a coaching session, it will cost you and I will help you fix yourself. Okay. Oh my goodness. Maybe you're recovering from something that knocked the wind out of you, but Spirit says that was the ending. This is the rebuilding. Financially, your work is setting something in motion, and love, I think clarity will require truth, no more illusions or lies. And overall, your strength is your softness, your ability to stay curious even when life gets complicated. Spirit says keep showing up. Keep listening. The answers you seek are already speaking back. So if you get some feedback, I don't know, somebody's not going to like this message, and that's okay. I'm trying to help you for free. I don't know. You won't get me to work any other way unless it's here. So what I'm trying to say is, even when you get feedback, or if it is constructive criticism, if it comes from another bozo, if it comes from some idiot, I know what that's like. You're sitting there going, okay, I'm just not going to, nobody lords any degrees or their qualifications over anybody else. We keep those quietly to ourselves, because what happens is when other people find out what our credentials are, they take it out on us. They get jealous. They get insecure. All of it comes down to their insecurities. You know, and then you get people coming at you. That's happened to me before. I was like, I should have never let anybody know, but I was working with a I was working with them. So what I want to say, I need to look at one more card because Gemini, I know this is rough. And if you don't like this, I'm sorry. This could be that you are an employer and you're dealing with people like this. And if you're the employee and you're at a place that's this crazy and you're working with people that are nuts or just dumb, then there's your sign. If you stay, I know that sometimes things can be difficult, but come on. Let's get one more. Oh, all right. Let's see. Your reading here is challenging. Oh my goodness, no freaking way. The High Priestess in reverse. Somebody is dealing with a woman. And this has been so career focused. There's some BS in relationships and people lying to each other. Some gossip. Like there is a woman here or a man that acts like a woman. Maybe a feminine man. Don't take the gender too seriously. If somebody is gay, I will tell you. Sometimes I won't tell you because the High Priestess in reverse could be a gay person, but I'm the initials A and O for Alpha and Omega. That was the Nine of Swords in reverse and the Four of Wands in reverse. There is somebody with a relationship, whether this is work or family or only relationship related, who is a liar. There is somebody in a relationship with a liar. There are people that are just gossips and backstabbers and two-timers. And let's do your charms because I want out of your reading. Love you guys. What the hell?
Mafia de fumo e l'étoile.
All right, Gemini, let's... This makes me laugh. I'm so sorry. All right, this is huge. Let's open the pirate's chest. Arr! I can get from charm. All right. Okay, we've got a key. That's a big key. That key goes to an over 100-year-old farmhouse I used to live in. One of the keys to one of the doors. All right. I've just put my arms way down here. Ow! Okay. I'm not going to take that just because it stabbed me. That is a golf tee. I'm not taking it. I saw it, so I don't want to take it. Okay. This is a snake. At first, I thought it was a letter S. That is a snake that was given to me at a crazy-ass job I had by a lovely guest. And... of course, since it's very inexpensive, it turned from rose gold to almost its inherent junk metals very quickly. It's kind of copper, so this is a darker kind of snake. Okay. I don't know why this is making me laugh because your reading actually irritated the junk out of me. It's almost like the kind of reading and information I don't want to hear from anyone. Don't bring me the drama. God bless it. All right. Okay, I don't know why this is in here, but this is a strawberry dum-dum lollipop. Okay. All right, so let's take the first one with this old skeleton key from that 100-year-old farmhouse. Okay, so remember that I'm not just reading it for the item it is. I've got other meanings attached to them, which I incorporate depending on what I get. And if Faye over here wants to say, who is this person? And she's like, oh, I think that I don't mean to be unkind in any way. I think that in her life, when she was here on this planet, that she was known to be a bit off. Do you know what I'm saying? Her mind. Yeah, hang on. It's easy for me to say chemical imbalances. I just think that there was an inherent, perhaps a structural difference. Maybe a difference in her amygdala. That's probably not going to mean anything to anybody. So, she's just really wringing her hands about her brother or husband, or I think it's her child. I think it's her grown-ass child. And maybe this person has inherited some issue that causes instability, and she's just trying to help, but she's really worried about this. Like, how is this happening? Okay, for this key. So the key in this sense, if of course it means opening doors, opening very old doors, opening doors to the past. Don't go to the past. Leave that there. Some doors are meant to be closed and left behind. Why do I have the key to the old farmhouse? It isn't to the front door, obviously. This was to some other interior doors. And because there were several doors, I had skeleton keys, and I bought a batch of keys at a different point to have extras, and this is one of them. And this, the packs came with different versions, variations of the keys. So this may not be the exact key for every exact old, because out in the country, out on farms, it could be a door from a farmhouse that's 150 years old. And, then there could be a door and a lock from a house that's a little younger, like maybe 100 years old. And the locks were different each time. I don't know why I'm saying that, other than some doors, some houses, some locations, some situations are meant to be kind of, I'll tap the metal, locked and never to be returned to. All right. Now for the snake, this is quite obvious. Okay, so snake. There's a snake in the grass, except it's not in the grass. It's on a cherry desk. So there is a snake right out in the open. And I'm not saying it's you, but it could be somebody around you. But because we've seen so much lying, so much gossip, so much bullshit, somebody is like literally a gossiping, whining. I don't like this energy at all. So, the reason why I don't feel like this is so harmful is because the head on this particular charm is kind of small. You'll see it in the image. And yes, I do photograph the images as much as possible. So I will be photographing this, converting it to a ping image, and you're going to see exactly what I'm looking at. The head of the snake is very small. It's just very curly. Somebody could be a sexual deviant. If you know anything about handwriting analysis, doodle analysis, any of those other kind of ways that those of us who like to study people study them, somebody could be a sexual deviant. You'll see that with lots of kind of curly, very sexual, sometimes deviating. And with this snake, I don't like it. There's just too much bullshit. Pardon my French. There's just too much, I don't know, gossip. This is an S. I'm looking, slander, gossip. If I turn it this way, it's libel. No, thank you. And with the dum dum. I'm sorry. With the dum dum lollipop. Don't be a dum dum. All right, that's what you get for your charms. I hope that none of this is about you and it's not even about the people around you, that somehow that you are some external bystander. I hope this is not your business. I hope this is not your employee. Take good care. Love you guys.